on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak. Welcome to Speak. I'm in. 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 I'm in. Who you with, Kirk, dog? Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm M. Who you with, Kirk, dog? Want to welcome everyone to the show. Hopefully y'all had a great weekend this weekend. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. We're trying out Instagram. For some reason, I haven't used Instagram in a while, so trying to make sure it is lining up correctly to, I got to move that back a little bit. So hopefully y'all enjoyed your weekend so far, and not sure why it's not coming up like it should be. But anyway, we are on Instagram Live also, so you can join us in the chat room. You can live chat with us. There we go. All right, I got it straight now. So it's been a while since I did Instagram, so trying to make sure we get the picture lined up, because on Instagram it's a little bit different than the other platforms that we're on. But we moved again. Hold on. I guess it's a little bit delayed, so had to come back in the center in just a minute. But tonight we have some interesting stories we're going to discuss tonight. Like I said, you can live chat with us in the chat room, regardless of which platform you are on. You can live chat with us. So tonight we're going to talk about Friendship West still doing stuff in the community, still in the pandemic, and they still doing the right thing. What the church should do is support the community during this time. We also going to talk about Nika Nicole Holbert. That's the young lady that was killed up in Nashville, if I'm not mistaken. What's going on? Radio Chaos is in the house. Welcome to the show, my brother out of Canada. Always tuning in. Thank you for always supporting the show. We also going to talk about 1 year anniversary since Breonna Taylor was murdered by those cops, and there's still no justice. So we're gonna hit on that tonight, and also Kenneth Walker III, Breonna Taylor boyfriend, filed the lawsuit, a federal lawsuit, on Friday against Louisville, Kentucky. The city of Louisville, and also the officers. So we will hit on that also tonight. Now, if I didn't mention something that y'all want to talk about, we could definitely talk about it, and we can add it to the show. Only thing we ask that you do, everybody is welcome on the show, regardless of who you support or your thought of views. Only thing we ask, you are respectful and be able to tell the truth. Verified. That's all to it. Um, so let's get started. Friendship West, ever since the winter storms last month, they have still been in the community. Matter of fact, this Thursday, the 18th at 10 a.m., they will be distributing some boxes of grocery and water for those in need. So his first come, first serve. They've been doing this quite a bit. So definitely If you are in need for this, definitely go. You don't have to sign up. First come, first serve. While supplies last. So you want to get there early. Um, and they're still looking for contractors too that can work with people that been affected by the storms, and also they're if you wasn't affected, and if you able to be a blessing, uh, and donate to them. So you could go to their website, friendshipwest.org, and all the detail is on there. What if you want to be a contractor or if you want to donate? Definitely do it, because we all have to do our part in it. So uh, my hat goes off to Friendship West family. It's no joke about it, because I know they do a lot of stuff outside the walls of the church, and they always been stepping up since. But also, so I'm gonna switch the stories up a little bit. Um, I know y'all heard about this announcer up in Oklahoma, I believe, high school announcer, Matt Rowan. Well, this dude, uh, some other players had kneel for the anthem, and with his mic on, he gonna say, call them the N word. Gonna say it's disrespectful that these uh, N words kneeling for the flag and kneeling for the anthem. Now, that's bad enough, but then this fool come back and said it was his diabetic. He's a diabetic, and that kind of messed him up a little bit. So that's the reason why he said it. No, that ain't the reason why you said it, fool. You're a racist. Call it like it is. If you're gonna be about it, be honest with it. Just say it like it is. You racist. That's all to it. You just a straight up racist. But I'm sure you also one of the ones to talk about um when a unarmed black person is killed, you probably say, well, they should have followed the law. They shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have done that. So call it like it is. You just straight up racist. That's all it is. Ain't no other way of putting it. So I'm glad you was dismissed from your position, and you should have been. And that's all to it. You're gonna try to blame it that you're a diabetic. It's a lot of people out here that are diabetic, but they ain't making stupid comments like that. That's something that you was raised up on. So don't try to sugarcoat it. Tell it like it is. Just say flat out you're a racist. People probably respect you a little bit more if you just came out the closet. So yeah, I'm glad you lost that position. Hopefully you don't get another one. Welcome to the show. T Cal is in the house. Said hello, radio and T and Kurt dog. Um, excuse me. Excuse me. Wall just got caught. Yeah, that's all it was. He got caught. He got caught. I'm gonna try to blame it on. He's a diabetic. Diabetic and racist are two different things. He just a racist. That's all to it. A lot of them say, "Oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that." But the bottom line is, you was raised like that, so that's the way you think. You need to change the way that you think about things. When you see a black person, you automatic think they up to no good. So you need to change your mind thought. That'll be the better way of doing it. You just come out and say you're a straight up racist. Why not? At least we know what to expect from you. He probably one of those to say, but I got black friends. Yeah, but that don't mean you're not a racist. Um, exactly. And that's the problem. A lot of them say, oh, I lost my job. He shouldn't have lost his job for the. Yes, he should have. These are high school players. It's their, how they say, it's their right. Well, it was their right to kneel if they chose to kneel. That's not your right to call them a nigger. So, um, so that's the way it is. Oh, we got one tonight. We got one early tonight. Um, well, I'm glad you on the show, Phenom, and I'm glad you on here. So while you on here, why don't you subscribe to the channel, like, share, tell your other friends what about them. Everybody is working, welcome here. So I'm glad you on here. Stick around. You might learn a little bit tonight. So um, but to answer your question, no, I call it like it is. I don't beat around the bush. I don't care who you are. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Some people have an issue with that, but hey, that's on you. But go ahead and subscribe. Since you're on YouTube, click the notification, share it with a friend, and come on back in. It probably will be. He probably just wanted me to say his name. Radio as will this be a smash and grab trope? Probably will be. He probably won't stick around. Most of them don't. So that's how it is. So I've read this story the other day about uh um so about the Nashville police officer that shot the young lady. I believe it was Friday morning. Um it's a sad situation all over. But once again, right is right, wrong is wrong. Um, the young lady was pulled over on a traffic stop. Apparently, it was an alert on the car that the owner had about 6 or 7 warrants out, felonies, and the officer made a stop. And when he made the stop, the young discovered that the owner of the car was not in there. So, as he did a check on the young lady, come to find out she has some weed in her purse and some white powder substance. So when he went to arrest her, a struggle happened where she grabbed her purse and ran around the car and jumped in the car. But I'm gonna back up for a minute because when she first went in her purse and when she first went in there before she got her purse out the car, I guess she's supposed to be getting a cigarette. And the thing is, when she was getting those cigarettes, she stayed in there too long, which it threw up a red flag for me. For the simple fact, she went in there too long. He asked her, What are you doing? What's taking so long?" And because of that, I believe what she did was actually took the gun out of her purse and sat it on the seat next to her, but he couldn't see that. So when he went to try to arrest her, she ran back to get in the car. He pulled his taser out and telling her get out the car, and basically end up tasing her a couple of times, and she grabbed the gun. You can hear clearly on the body cam, drop the gun, and she refused to. She shot at him. He shot back. The officer was hit. I think they said he was hit in his stomach. The bullet got up under his vest and hit him in the stomach, and he returned fire. Well, about a block later, she ended up crashing her car and crashed her car and um, end up passing away due to the gunshot she received later that night. She ended up passing away. So um, and I've read a lot of comments. I've seen different people doing this story, and unfortunately, in this situation, this was a clean shooting. Like I said, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. Um, I can easily say it was mistakes made on both sides because first of all, when you have somebody going into the car, whatever they say they get them, once you get them out the car, they never should be able to be allowed to go back in the car for anything. And then the amount of time it took her to get some cigarettes, that was way too long. So with that, it was a justice shooting. A lot of people try to blame the officer. No, this is not the same. Um, this was actually a justified shooting. Hopefully, that officer do survive. Um, but trust me, if it wasn't justified, I would be all on it. And it's um, it's a sad situation because the thing is, it should never come down to that. If you're doing what's right, hey, follow the law. Follow the law. Yeah, I know unfortunately a lot of us are being killed and being unarmed. But this guy wasn't disrespectful or anything like that. He was very respectful. Um, she could have went, got arrested, probably be out now, and probably would be at home. But unfortunately, her action cost her her life, and it's not good for no one because now it make it seem like this cop was trigger happy, but that's not what I seen. I'd seen the interview, I seen the body cam, I seen the patrol car cam also, and that was completely justified. When you are a officer, you have a lot on you, and you want to have the trust of the people, but you cannot put your life, you putting your life in danger already. But here it is, when it come down to it, at this point, she never should have went back to the car. He never should have allowed her to go back to the car to get cigarettes or anything. And he was being nice to let her do that. But you never know who you coming in contact with. And that's why you have to be um, fair and honest with it. I feel like that was the biggest mistake that he lost, and it could have cost him his life. And I think it would, she probably would still be here if he did not allow her to go back. And for him to be a field training officer, um, it's it's completely different because he's a field training officer, and you allow the suspect to go back to the car to get anything. You don't let him go back until you get finished with him. So that's uh that's a big mistake that he made. Um, so Phantom, I'm glad you stuck around. I don't know if you still feel like the same comment you made earlier, but like I said, you stick around on the show, you will see. I'm all about truth. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. And I don't bite my tongue on it. So and so definitely, hopefully you stick around. Hopefully you tell your friends that we here. We are live. And everybody is welcome. Everybody have their own opinion. We may not agree on everything, but one thing about it, I'm only gonna stick with the truth. So so I'm definitely glad you stuck around. Um, so um T Cal said, tell all your friends. Exactly. Tell all your friends because you will realize that one thing about this show, we're going to be honest with people. We don't do conspiracy theory. We only going to stick to the facts. Excuse me. I might have to change cups. My water look water cup blending in with the background. Um, Guess I have to go back to my other cup tomorrow. But yeah. So let me know how y'all feel about the story. Um, if you haven't read it, you can find it. Just pull up her name or just pull up officer shoot and kill a woman on a traffic stop. I wish the sister didn't do what she did, but unfortunately, it cost her life. Um, and that's all to it. Um, so last couple of days we celebrated Breonna Taylor, um, the death, a 1 year anniversary of her death, and still today justice haven't been served. But the prosecutor Cameron still there. These officer, yeah, one of them been Brent Hackerson been fired, but he was only charged for shooting through the neighbor apartment. That's the only reason why he was charged with. The only charge he was charged with. But as for Cameron, um Kentucky, y'all need to step up and vote this man out. If he don't step down, you need to vote him out. That's all to it. Because here it is. He's the reason why um he having that's the reason why all of this is going this way. Because he did not give the grand jury a choice of murder, manslaughter, or anything. That wasn't on the table. So they didn't have that option. And hopefully they go ahead and reopen up this case and get him out. Not sure when he's coming up for a re-election, but uh, hopefully he won't win the next election. That's why it's so important that he actually get voted out. That's why it's important to vote locally, because we have to be able to hold these elected officials accountable for their action. And uh, if we don't hold them accountable, this is what's going to happen. And how we hold them accountable is getting out and voting, not just for the federal election, but also um, for the local and state election. Because he just got reelected in, and I don't know how. He's not up for reelection until 2024. So the only thing they could do, I know at one point they was trying to get him to step down. 9 times out of 10, he's not. But we need to hold him accountable and get him out of that position. Um, when the people went out there to protest, they arrested a lot of them for protesting. But at the same time, they did nothing for these cops. When I seen Cameron married one of Mitch McConnell family members, that told me a lot about him. So he think just like Mitch McConnell. He he talk off both sides of his mouth. He don't know. He'll say one thing, then he don't. That's how he did with the impeachment trial with Trump. He wanted to impeach him, but he didn't vote to impeach him. He didn't have enough family jewels to impeach Trump, just like all the other Republicans. Just like when they re-election come up, we need to vote them out. It's time to clean the swamp. That's what Trump said during his thing. We need to vote them out. Um, I know Kentucky is talking about the no-knock warrant. They are very dangerous, but they put a limit on them. They're saying that um, all officers serving warrants must have um, body cameras on now. But they can easily say it malfunction. Who was it? Virginia, I think, signed a Breonna law where they would no longer serve a no knock warrant. Her own state wouldn't do it. A whole nother state did it. That just tells you exactly how they feel about you. So we need to make sure Kentucky, because I'm in Texas, but Kentucky, y'all need to make sure that y'all are showing up and voting. Let's get these people out. They don't care about you, so let's send them packing. Vote them out. If any elected official is not represent, if you feel like they're not representing you right, get them out of office. Vote them out. That's all you have to do. And when the next one come around and want to come and ask for your vote, ask what are they going to do for you and your community? What will you do for my community? Are you only going to come around here when it's election time? Or are you going to make changes in the community? Are you going to help to make changes in the community? Because it's not up to the elected officials by themselves to change the community. The people in the community need to change too. So if you know somebody's out here breaking into stuff, stealing stuff, and doing drugs, get them out. Get them out. Because the only thing that's doing is bringing your property value down. Get them out. That's all you have to do. So uh, it's gonna. I hate to see that this young queen is not getting justice, and they want to bring out, well, he shot at us. That's the reason why we shot. But the bottom line is, in the middle of the night, if somebody coming into your house in the middle of the night, and you don't know who it is, but breaking your door down, what you expect for them to do? Hell, I would have shot too. Be honest, it wouldn't have been one shot. I would have emptied the clip, reloaded. Because the thing is, if you don't say who it is, how do I know who it is? Then on top of that, even on the 911 call, you could hear Kenneth saying, someone just broke into my house and shot my girlfriend. Still, when he made that call, he did not know it was the police. It was no way he knew that. But some people are going to say it was justified. Now, I was going to wait to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I ran across two fools. I'm going to call them like it is, two fools. Um, doing um, a podcast. Now, the thing is, whenever they talked about any story dealing with black folks, they talked about each one of those black people like dogs. And my thing is, what have happened to you where you have culture hatreds, where you hate your culture, your background? Because both of these brothers, well, both of these guys were black. And the thing is, they talked about the lawsuits that been killed that where families have received settlements from police wrongdoing. Talked about each one of those cases. And they blame each one of them, even if they was unarmed, called them ghetto, called them all type of names. Even talked about it was Breonna Taylor fault for getting killed. And I asked them, I said, what WTF? Y'all are some real live Uncle Ruckus. For the simple fact, everything you say about a black person, they's just so ghetto. And I'm like, what? You blaming the victims for being killed? Everything that dealt with a black person, these two low life black guys blame the victim for being killed. One thing about it, you black yourself. And like I told them, I said, look, if one of these victims were you, what would you want your family to do? Because the thing is, first of all, you could talk all of that while you're on this show, and you may have people to follow you because of that. But once you get from behind that mic, you just another nigga. That's what they direct you as, another nigga. So the thing is, how can you talk about black folks, dog them out? And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I feel like I was being punked. And I'm like, really? And then apparently it was a case that happened not too long ago in New Orleans, where a young guy was trying to sell a scooter, a young white guy. Okay. He got robbed and he was killed. And immediately the guy said, oh, that should be a hate crime. A a hate crime? He just he got robbed. Unfortunately, he was killed. And I asked the question, I'm like, hey, do you think these killings of black unarmed black folks should be hate crimes? Because the thing is, you're up here dogging the black folks. Yeah, the guy was wrong for killing the guy. I'm not gonna discredit that. The guy should be held accountable. I always say, if you do the crime, you do the time. But to dog out unarmed black people being killed, you blaming them. You want to pull up, and you sound just like a racist, just in a black body, because you want to go down talking about George Floyd, want to bring up his arrest history, want to bring up his drug use, but you overlook the fact that that cop was on his neck for over 8 minutes with his hand in his pocket with a smirk on his face. They ain't gonna say, oh, you can look at the autopsy. It say nothing about no damage to his neck or anything like that. Well, let somebody kneel on your neck like that for that length of time and see what happened. But you said that's not the reason they killed him. It was the drugs in his system. I don't care who you are. The fact is, that cop was wrong. He was in handcuffs. See, you didn't talk about that. He was in handcuffs. And you overlooked all of that. Welcome to the show, Brittany Smith, listening on Instagram. But you want to talk about it was George Floyd's fault. And you want to talk about the lawsuit that the family received and how you called them ghetto and talking about where they should be taking care of their neighborhood because what happened. What you must didn't listen to everything, didn't listen to the full story, because in that lawsuit, I believe it was over 500,000 that was going to the community to help rebuild that community. But you want to talk about it was his fault. It wasn't that officer fault. That's what you kept saying. It wasn't that officer fault. It was his fault. He had drugs. He done this. He done that. And that's just like a racist. That's the first thing they say when they kill a black person. They turn around and bring up their background. You just sounded like Uncle Ruckus to me. Both of you. And apparently you hate yourself because apparently you don't realize once you get behind that mic and you face one of these cops that don't know who you are, they're going to treat you just like another Negro. That's all to it. They don't care. The color of your skin is a threat. And you don't realize that. You got your head so far up their butts that you don't realize you're black. Yeah, that's what you need to be concerned about. For the simple fact, what I heard yesterday, I wish I could have called in if I had your number. Because the thing is, you was completely wrong on all of that. Blaming the victims of what happened to them. It was their fault. They did this, they did that. If they did this didn't happen, that wouldn't happen. But you overlooking the fact of what the cops did. It been too many cases where unarmed black people was killed for no reason at all. None whatsoever. But you want to blame the victims. I pray and hope nothing happens to you, nor one of your family members. Because guess what? When these racist folks get out here, they don't care you support Trump or nobody like that. They only going to look at your skin color. And that's it. But, we have too many folks that is out here like that feel they better than us, but don't realize they are black too. You sleeping because you feel that just because you behind that microphone, people gonna know who you are. Nothing won't happen to you. You need to wake up. Need to wake up. That self-hate is terrible. It's definitely terrible. Um, so I was gonna say that for tomorrow, but since I already brought it out, it's out there now. Also, Breonna boyfriend Kenneth, ex-boyfriend Kenneth Walker III, have filed the lawsuit um, against the Louisville, Kentucky Police Department in the city, and also uh, the police officers. Last week, his charges were finally dismissed, which is good. Um, I'm glad they finally dismissed those charges, and so he's in the clear now. Because at first they were saying, oh, they dismissed them and they could possibly come up again, but this time they in the clear, so that's a good thing. But I'm glad he did file that lawsuit. Cause can you imagine having having your loved one, the love of your life, your black queen that you getting ready to marry, want to grow old together, then her life is cut short all because of a lie. The cop lied to get the warrant. Then you turn around, didn't even verify if the person lived there. The guy had been in jail. Then how about the DA, the prosecutor try to make a deal with the ex-boyfriend, saying if you say that she sold drugs, we'll cut you some time off of your time. See, it's too much corruption in that particular case. That's why they all need to be held accountable. How you going to try to cut a deal with somebody to get them to lie? That's the problem we have now with the justice system. It's so many people that would sell out to save their own self. Um, T-Cal said, "I'm glad they did too, but it's sad he has to go through that." Yeah, it's sad. They need to be charging Cameron for trying to make a deal with the ex-boyfriend to get him to lie. That's a conspiracy within itself. So yeah, he need to be held accountable. And while we talking about corruption in our backyard, in my backyard, um, a brother was just released from jail. Um, my mind and went blank. He was released from jail last week on on a um, on a lie, for the simple fact that someone lied on him and said that he robbed and killed this guy 34 years ago. 34 years ago, this guy been in jail and was just released the other day. Ben Spencer, um, out of Dallas. 34 years of his life gone because someone lied. Someone lied. And the thing is, um, the thing is, and this is going to be a surprise because one story came out allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly, but one story came out and said that allegedly Ross Perot paid someone to lie. Paid the witness to lie on this man. I'm gonna just put it out there. So here it is. Uh, Ross Perot, big time here in Dallas. He passed away a couple of years back, but apparently it came out that allegedly he supposedly had paid someone to lie on this man. Welcome to the show, the Nerd Lounge 804, listening in on Instagram. You can live chat with us in the chat room. You are listening to Speak on It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. I'm M. Who You With, Kurt Dog. Uh, you can chime in on the stories that we're talking about tonight, or if it's something on your mind, you can also chime in also. Um, so this is what's going on right now. So let me get out of this one. Um, oh, excuse me. Trying to find that story that I read, and it's sad that when you black, it's so easy for somebody to say they did it instead of people investigating it. They automatically take their word. which is wrong. That's why I say all the time, it's a difference between black laws and white laws. We're not treated fairly when it comes down to justice. And for the ones to say, oh, everybody is treated fairly, apparently you're not seeing, you have your eyes closed or you're turning your back on something. But for this brother to spend 34 years of his life in prison, Benjamin Spencer, and been fighting for decades to prove that he did not carjack and kill a man. And not only that, the witness said they seen him, but the evidence don't show that. For the simple fact where this crime took place at, it was dark. I believe several stories said it was the darkest night of the year and the moon was not shining. So it was no way possible this witness could have seen this. No way possible. And this man has spent 34 years of his life from 1987 and was just released. I believe it was Friday morning. He's supposed to be getting out Thursday, didn't get out, but he was released on Friday morning. And he don't have a full release yet. He's just out on bail. Welcome to Empower S and watching on Instagram. Welcome to the show. You're more than welcome to chat in live with us and uh, let us know how you feel. Um, so the story say here's another in a fraternity when a man wrongly uh, convicted out of Dallas County back during the 80s and 90s. A lot of cases have came out of that. Following its own investigation, the Dallas County District Attorney has joined Spencer defense team in asking a judge to set Spencer free. There was an excitement in the air outside of Luce Theory Justice Center Thursday, where people waited for a man to walk out in street clothes, not jail stripes. But none have waited longer than Spencer and his mother, Lucille. My baby been locked up 34 years for something he didn't do, Lucille said. Benjamin Ben Spencer is going to walk out of jail on bond after 34 wrongfully convicted years in prison. From the evidence says there's no way he did anything. So if he didn't do anything, why is he in prison? Lucille said. At the age of 22 years old, he was arrested in March 1987 for the carjacking, robbery, and murder of a man named Jeffrey Young. It was the testimony of three eyewitnesses in a jailhouse informant that sealed Spencer's fate. The informant and two of those witnesses had recanted, and the third witness, the star witness, had taken reward money from her testimony. She nor prosecutor revealed that information. His conviction was later overturned. Spencer had a second trial and was found guilty again, this time of armed robbery, and sentenced to life in prison. He never waived and maintained his innocence. In 2007, judge issued a finding of actual innocence to Spencer following an evidentiary hearing. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeal then rejected the judge finding keeping Spencer in prison. Yeah. Uh, we shared our conviction, our wrongful conviction. We talked about them and all of that. Said Johnny Pinchback, who was also wrongfully convicted and later extraordinary. Pinchback waited along with other extraordinary for Spencer Thursday. They all served in the same prison unit. We became a family. We looked after each other. We helped each other. There was a bond there, and there still is a bond there, Pinchback said. Spencer will soon leave cell block in prison behind after the district attorney agreed with his attorneys that he was wrongfully convicted and should be free. Welcome to the show, Love My Kinks. Join on Instagram. But there's one thing his mother still wants to know. I want to know who killed Jeffrey Young. Now, don't tell me who's supposed to have killed them or who you think killed them. I want to know who did kill Jeffrey Young, she said. Once the judge signed off on the motion, Spencer would either be free on a person recognition bond with his own signature or a 10% bond. Uh, so he did get out. He signed himself out on the bond. But here it is. Another black man wrongfully convicted, spent 34 years in prison, all because of a lie. And allegedly, Ross Perot paid the witness, the star witness, allegedly. So I hope that's not true. But if it is, I understand Ross is gone. But his state is still here. So yes, it will be a culture shock. So much have changed. Back in '87, cell phone was not that popular. So it's gonna be a lot. We didn't have internet like that either. So it's gonna be a culture shock. But one thing that got me, his attitude when he came out. He wasn't upset. He was happy to be out. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something strange for somebody who just spent 34 years of his life in prison, wrongfully convicted. And you could tell where he is spiritually because he had peace with him. I don't know if I could do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I could do that. Not, and I'm a Christian, but spending 34 years of my life in prison for a crime I didn't do, and to have the spirit that he have, I'm a work in progress. So, but I'm glad the brother is out free. Um, just like I tell anyone else, if you want to, you or your attorney would like to come on to the show, you are welcome to come on to the show and tell your story. And but this is crazy. This happened way too often. From the 80s and 90s, a lot of brothers were sent to prison for a crime they did not commit. This is not the first one. I don't know exactly how many brothers been released from prison out of Dallas County alone after being wrongfully convicted. It's way too many. This started back when former DA Craig Watson was in office. People was getting upset because so many people was coming out of prison that was being wrongfully convicted, and they was getting upset at him. But he's in that position to do what's right. They told him you need to focus on the current crimes, not on the past crimes. So it's a lot of brothers that have been released from prison, all because of a lie. And I hope and pray the story I read about Ross Perot is not true. But I wouldn't put it past him because apparently in this story they said Ross Perot is a was a friend of the family of Jeffrey Young. And if that's the case, I wouldn't put it past him. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what the story said. And I just hope it's not true. Because Ross Perot have many business here in Dallas, even though he's gone, but that business is still running. So I hope that's not the truth. But um, so hopefully, I did more stories than what I planned on tonight, which is cool. I want to know how y'all feel about spring break. Um, a lot of these stimulus check coming out, and how y'all feel? Y'all getting the stimulus, or what you gonna do with your money? Because just kind of funny how it comes out right before March Madness, and then they turn around and you got all these stores putting TVs on sale. Everything they know people gonna buy with it. But people, save your money. Save your money. Yeah, that's kind of a struggle because um, we still do our family call at 7, and some people came on a little bit late tonight. So I was like, hey, um, but I have it set up where I'm gonna get off the call early enough where I could be on my show on time. And because now if y'all heard some of the things that goes on the family call, there's some funny things and there's some good things that happen. So um hopefully one day some of my family would be able to come on, but it's entertaining. They asked me if we could record the calls. I'm like, look, that got to be up to everybody because I don't know if people y'all ready for people to see y'all like this. But it's fun though. It's funny. We have a good time. We laugh. We joke. Have a good time. Um, our governor has promised to do away with it for the last year. I wish they do. Just have one set time. It'll make it easy. Um, it definitely make it easy on everyone. Um, Also, the Grammys is tonight. Shout out to I should have did this at the beginning of the show. Shout out to my boy Sean Martin. Him and Snarky Puppy have won another Grammy. Shout out to them because I'm telling you, they doing it big here in Dallas. A lot of great music coming out of that is in Dallas that is coming out. Some of it don't get recognized like it should, but Dallas have a lot of great talent. So shout out to Sean Martin and Snarky Puppy on that, and um, and all the other contestants too. I know you're saying your government saying he promised to do away with it for the last time. Just have one time, because sometimes it's hard to go and move clocks forward, and when you have a lot of clocks, you have to remember to do each one. Or if you get in the car, you got to do that one. Then you forget about doing it back. And I'm like, look, just keep it one time. Now, from what I was told, the reason why they do it for the springtime, give guys longer time at the golf course. Um, I don't play golf like that, so it don't matter to me. Keep it at one setting and go with it like that. Um, oh, yeah, because y'all on the same time as California. Said we have to wait for California to get on board. Yeah, California a little bit tricky. Um, they'll be the last one to move on it. I don't see Texas doing it long as we have the same governor, which we hoping will change that next year. Um, Matter of fact, um, what is his name? I forgot. Matthew Matthew McConaughey is talking about running for governor next year here in Texas. He's considering it, and that might be kind of interesting because he's always doing things in the Austin area, so people see him all the time. He go to the games out there, and um, so that might be interesting. Now I'm not sure. Trying to see what party would he run with. Um, but I would say, look, if he serious about running, reach out to me. We'll put you on the show. Ask you some questions, find out exactly where your mindset is, and um, but we definitely um need to get Greg Cabot out of there. It's time for him to go. So that would be very interesting um if he do run, and we could get Greg out of there, or even Beto. Beto, either one of them be good. I wish Clay Jenkins would run. Um, I think Clay Jenkins would be a good governor because he would be fair on it. Here another drive by. So who got what they deserve? Who you talking about? Welcome to the show, first of all. Who got what they deserve, Mr. Range? I'm not sure who you talking about. Because we talked about two different females tonight. I want to make sure I'm clear before I say anything out of line. So she got what she deserved. Okay, all right. That's what I said earlier. Yeah, you're right. That's her fault. That was a justified killing. Um, okay. I didn't know if you was because I'm kind of on the edge. Um, I said earlier, I watched the show where two guys were dogging these sisters out. Even Breonna Taylor, because we talked about her tonight. But I wanted to make sure you wasn't talking about Breonna Taylor got what she deserved. But yeah, you're right. The one in Nashville, that's her fault. Even the mother came out with a statement today. I think she did an interview, and she said the young lady had problems since she was a child, and she never recovered from it. She didn't go into details from what I understand, but it's so important to make sure people are getting help. If you are dealing with depression, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay. I always put myself out there. Um, Yesterday and today was the first time I really spent a lot of time on Facebook since the passing of my mother. And one of the hardest thing I've seen, um, I mentioned the other night about a friend who went on Facebook, kind of found out her father passed. Then one of my other good friends, which I used to see him going out to lunch with his mom all the time, and then kind of find out she passed. And so many other deaths have happened. And the thing is, with all the deaths surrounding us, a lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are struggling with it. The best thing I can say, please get help. get help. It's okay to ask for help. And if someone is out here struggling with the loss of a loved one, if you can't find somebody that you could talk to and that's going to be able to listen to you and not judge you, my number is on the screen. You can call me. I'll listen to you. I will allow you to vent, and you can always call. If I don't answer, leave a message. Shoot me a text. I will respond. Don't try to go through this by yourself. Don't do it. It's not good. I just read a story today. A young lady um, out of Georgia, out of Atlanta. I think she had 3 kids, and allegedly she ended up taking her life. She was depressed, ended up taking her life. Everything that we do, we here for a purpose. Whatever your purpose may be, you can get over any roadblocks that try to block your purpose. Sometimes you may need help. Ask for help. Ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. I have people say, well, um, may say, well, I didn't want to bother you because of what you've been going through. I tell them, look, regardless of what I could go through, I can still pray. I'm rooted enough. I don't mind praying with someone. So if you're going through something, don't do it by yourself. I have counselors I can hook you up with. They've been on the show before. Miss Kincaid, Miss Simmons, who are great counselors. And if you work, you could get counseling for free. Just ask them about your employee assistant program. You could get counseling for free. I used to always have this issue with going to counselors where I felt like I couldn't trust them. I felt like they just want to know my business. But I also admit to people, I've been taking counseling since 2018. Every Tuesday from 12 to 1, I take counseling. And when I take this counseling, I see the difference in my life. Because this last month or so, it been rough on me. But I thank God for my church, Friendship West Baptist Church, my friends, my pastors, and my counselor. Because if I wasn't doing those things, I don't know how I would have been. People like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm great. I'm doing good. I have good days, I have bad days. And the thing is, the best thing I know, my mom not in any more pain. She's not. She's good. She's back whole again. She beat it. cancer. She beat cancer for the simple fact she don't have to take chemo, radiation. She don't have to feel sick no more. So yeah, I'm okay. I have good days, I have bad days, but I have a support system. Seem like every time I start feeling down, one of them call me out the blue. Or if they don't call, I know I can call them. Mm. I've have had a couple of my family members that had it. And if you, I believe you was on the show when Miss Kincaid was here a couple of weeks ago, and I found out um, my father had it like a couple of days before. But that's a whole nother show for the simple fact I've been trying to have a relationship with this man for 30 years. He choose not to have one. But now they want to tell me he have dementia. And he's a pastor. So yeah, I understand how you feel, radio. I definitely understand how you feel. It's not good. Um, when you love your family members, and I believe I said, yes, it is. It is very terrible. Very terrible. It's definitely is. And the thing is, I said that Monday, before my mom passed, I said on the show that Monday, when we got on that family call that Monday night, I told him, I said, look, I seen mom today. It hurt me to see her in that condition for the simple fact my mom loved to talk, loved to cook, but to see her suffering like that, like I told my family, I said it's hard. It's hard for me to see her in that condition. Then when I did the show that night, I said it then. One thing about me, you never have to wonder about me. Because I'm gonna be honest with you from the beginning. That's why I don't mind telling people if you need to talk, need someone that need a vent, need someone to listen to you, reach out to me. Reach out to me. Shoot me a text 972 591 3665. If I'm unavailable, I will call you back. Leave me a message. I will call back. Or shoot me a text and ask, hey, can you talk? And I'll let you know. Either way, don't do not deal with this by yourself. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Don't deal with this by yourself. You don't have to. That's a lot of weight. That's just like I said on the show after my mom passed. Um, I had actually, my wife texted my counselor that Wednesday, text her, told her she passed. My counselor said, well, look, if he need to talk, I will make time for him. I didn't respond back to her till the next morning. Um, Miss Risky texted me early that morning. She was like, how you doing this morning? I said, in my mind, I'm okay, but I want to do the show tonight. I need to talk. She said, okay. I text my counselor. I said, in my mind, I feel like I don't want to talk, but I know I need to. I feel like I can carry this weight by myself, but I know I shouldn't. And I told her, I said, I accept your help. I will accept your help. I do want to talk. And she told me, okay, we can meet at such and such time. And that's what we did. It's good to have people in your life that sometimes they just sit back and listen. And sit back and listen to you. They don't judge you. That's the type of friends I have. And when I tell you, my friends, when they showed up at the service, it was wonderful. Not only them, but the parents showed up because we're very close knit. And I appreciate that. My family appreciate it. So if you're struggling with something, if you want to, you can reach out to me. I can put you in contact with the right um with the right people to get help. Or if you just need a vent, definitely reach out to me. And also if you are dealing with domestic violence during this time, please get some help. Get some help. Um, no matter what it is. If you need help, reach out to me. I need someone to talk to, pray with you. I'm available. And whatever we discuss, as long as your life is not in danger, it will stay among us. And I will put you in contact with the right person that can provide help for you. So definitely take advantage of it. TCAL said it is a terrible disease. Sorry to that. Sorry for you, radio. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. You are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I am Who You With Kurt Dog. Tomorrow night, since I told part of what I was going to do tomorrow, uh, we'll have some more stuff on the horizon for tomorrow. So, but that's good. Radio, definitely love her, love her, no matter what, love her. Um, because I've had at least either two or three family members that have gone through it, and that's not including my father. So definitely love your mother. Do whatever you can to make her comfortable. Um, definitely do that. Um, Radio, you know my number. If you need a call, reach out. You're more than welcome to call me. I know you're in Canada. Um, but you can definitely reach out to me, and we can. You don't have to go through it by yourself. That's with anybody. Don't do it. Sometimes you may just need a call, and kind of like what my friends told me. They told me, they said, look, if you need to come by here, call. If you need to come by here to yell, cuss, cry, whatever you need, we here for you. And I'm gonna do the same thing for anybody else. Whatever it is, you don't have to go through this by yourself. You don't. Depression is very serious, and too many people are losing their life behind it, and it shouldn't be like that. I tell my family members all the time, I love you. I love you. And the thing is, I mean it, because my family and I have built a bond so strong the last couple of months. And it's like, wow, definitely don't try to do it by yourself. I have family members that would call me. I don't know if they, and I need to ask them this too. Um, I don't know if they have days that they're gonna call on, like, hey, today is your day. Call Kirk Dog, see how he's doing. But I love to hear from my family. Um, so I have a lot of my family members that actually reach out to me um, on a daily basis. They're like, hey, just calling, checking up on you. Um, Want to know how you doing. Or they'll shoot me a text, hey, how you feeling today? I'm great. How you doing? Yeah, I'm good. So um, I'm gonna let y'all meet my family soon. I'm gonna tell y'all now when y'all meet them, y'all better be ready, because this that will be the it'll be funny, because the way that we interact, y'all be like, whoa, that's a whole different side of them. But my family, I love them. I appreciate them because they really have come together as a family the way it should be. And I appreciate them for that. But tomorrow night, um, I'm gonna be working on some more stuff. Risky is still working on some stuff. I talked with her today, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna be coming up with some different type of show ideas, not just some of these shows that we do, but we're gonna have some great shows coming up. Uh, y'all gonna see us making a lot of changes coming up here shortly. So we're always looking at ways to make the show better. If, if y'all have a show idea, let us know. We'll speak on it. Reach out to me. Who you with KurtDog at mail.com. Who you with KurtDog at mail.com. That's WHO, the letter U, WITHCURTDOG at mail.com. Definitely reach out to us and we will make it happen. Um, Other than that, I love each and every one of you for tuning in, always supporting radio, the Quan Range, love my kinks empower, S&T Cal, the Lounge 804, Brittany Smith. Um, what was the guy name that tried to do a troll by the Phantom? Uh, Even you. I don't know if you still listening, but hopefully you see what type of show I have. We're gonna be up front. It's all gonna be facts. Yeah, it may sound kind of strange, but if you listen, we'll wrap it all up together. So Shout out to Friendship West. Don't forget Thursday, 10 a.m. Central Time. Friendship West will be um, giving out food boxes and water, 10 a.m. Central Time, and it will be first come, first serve. If you are a had special skill, electrician, plumbing, catering, grocery store, whatever it may be. If you want to be part of it, giving back to the community, you can. Shout out to the ones that have actually participated so far. HelloFresh, Sankofa Kitchen, Grand Husky Logistics, Simple Stephanie, RJ's Barbecue, Lamore's Catering. Y'all gonna find out about her a little bit later because she did something special um, for my family and I. Lamore's Catering, LLC, Records Barbecue, Old Taste and See Catering, A Fresh Approach, Gourmet Royal, Sister Baby B, the Will and Jada Smith Foundation, and Lowe's. So shout out to them for giving back to the community in times like this. So um, and if you want to make a donation, go to friendshipwest.org website and definitely be a blessing. You may not be in a metroplex, but you want to help and you're able to. You want to give up some of that stimulus check you got. I'm just saying, if you're in a position where you can help, definitely help. My wife and I will be doing our part, and we'll go from there. So, other than that, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time. I will see y'all then. Until tomorrow night, I love each and every one of you. Until then, peace.